Hello and welcome to How to Leverage the Power of Mindset and Deliver Your Projects on Time. And this session is being run as part of the PMO Virtual Summit, and a very big thank you to Hussein for inviting me to be part of this summit. And as you can probably tell by my accent, I'm English, and this training is primarily was delivered to a community here in England, but has now gone worldwide. And as I say, my name's Chris Hallett. I'm an achievement coach and work for my company called Hallett Consulting. And as well as talking to you today about how to leverage the power of mindset and deliver your projects on time, what I'm also going to take you through is, and this is really, really critical to the success of your projects, is how your mindset is sabotaging your projects, and of course what you can do about it. And this is for you particularly if you're a PMO manager or work in the PMO. You may be a project manager, program director, or responsible for projects and programs in your organization. And that you're tired of hearing how projects always run late and it's always somebody else's fault. Have you ever experienced that? Yeah? At the start of a project, people are full of enthusiasm, they can deliver the project, but at the end of the project, it's almost like they're blaming everyone else for the project being late or over budget. So today I'll talk to you about some tactics and things that you can do to alleviate that. So in terms of what we got for you today, we're going to go through a little bit of mindset magic and talk to you about the self-sabotaging mindset. I'm going to talk to you about the power of mindset itself. Then we've got some practical stuff for you to do. So this isn't just presentation. This is stuff, it's called the Project Gold Workshop. And it's stuff that you can do, you can take away and implement that will make a difference to you, your life, and your projects. Then we've got the big mind shift, and finally we'll wrap it up with your next success steps and what you can do next to make this training become a reality for you. So just to let you know that you're in very good and very safe hands. Over the last 25 years, I've worked in a number of roles, starting as a project manager, a program manager, but more latterly responsible for setting up and managing program office. And I've done that in a number of well-known British organisations, Compass Group, food service companies, some airport operators, financial services, but also in our own National Health Service. Now, I'm also a qualified NLP master practitioner. I'm a master practitioner of timeline therapy, a master coach, and a master hypnotherapist. Now, I haven't put that on there just to say, wow, look at me, but to demonstrate that the stuff that I talk about to you on this session, one is coming from my own practical experience of working in projects, but also from the qualifications that I've gained that are internationally recognized and have made a difference, both with me personally and with my own clients. Because as well as working in business and training and coaching project teams, I also work on an individual level to help people overcome all sorts of problems in their life, and be it fear of flying, their business is going down the pan and they want to turn it around. Sort of typical life coaching stuff. I've helped people quit smoking. I've helped people land their dream job, which is something I'm particularly interested in because I've gone through a particular bad spot. And so my mission at the moment is to help project management professionals to deliver their projects on time and to do it stress-free. And a couple of years ago, my then line manager, who was the head of program office, said to me, Chris, he said, why are you never stressed out? And I said, Adrian, I just refuse to do it. I don't entertain the idea of being stressed. But part of that is because of the training I've gone through in being able to deal with those situations and prevent them happening in the first place. So let's get cracking and get straight on to a little bit of mindset magic. Now, all too often, and this has been my experience, when projects don't hit all of their objectives, at the end of the project, in the project review, people talk about projects and the fact that projects have failed. Let's get this straight from the outset. Projects cannot fail. Because when we pursue a goal, and in this case the goal is delivering the project on time, in budget, to the satisfaction of the stakeholders, to the required quality, and delivering the scope and the requirements, we either get the result that we wanted, so we've delivered it on time, in budget, to the satisfaction and to the required quality, or we get something else. This is not failure. This is called feedback. Now, the most important thing is that you learn from that feedback. So take an inward and an external look as to why the project didn't hit those key objectives. Now, obviously, we can't go into that in this training because that's far too involved and far too deep, but it is part of the training that I deliver in getting people to understand what's happened. Because at the end of the day, it's us, it's people who underperform, it's people that deliver projects. So let's stop talking about project failure. And if you follow me on LinkedIn, you will see I've posted articles about this, and it's on my blog as well. So the real big issue, and this follows on from the last point about projects and that dreaded word failure. And what I tend to do now, if I write the word failure, I put it in inverted commas. The big issue is that over the last 25 or so years, we've become totally focused on methodologies, on software, on training, all around the technical skills of how we deliver projects. Some of the companies I've worked in, they've had great processes, they've had great software, they've had great people, but still projects run late. And the real thing for me is that everybody's lost sight of the key thing, I've mentioned it once, is that people deliver projects. You can have those great processes, you can have that technology, and you can have the most amazing program office in the world looking after the governance and all the reporting, but at the end of the day, it's the people on the ground that deliver the projects. So let's have a look at that self-sabotaging mindset and how it has a destructive effect on your projects. Now, this is something I developed a couple of years ago. It's called the downward spiral. So think of that goal in terms of delivering the project, or it might be, take it a stage back, and it might be a stage of the project or a specific deliverable. So we set out what we want to achieve. So let's talk about it in terms of delivering the project on time and in budget. So we set out with that intention. We have the belief at the start of the project that we can actually deliver this project. Now, as I've experienced sometimes, there are people in the project team who actually don't believe this is possible. That's the subject of a whole different area and another area that I deliver training on. So let's assume we've all got that belief that we can hit this goal and deliver this project on time. Because at the end of the day, as project managers, that's what we're paid to do. So we then start to take action. We manage the project, people write reports, they develop software, we have meetings. All those daily behaviours that are documented in your project plan that people take action on. As you saw in our projects can't fail slide, sometimes we don't actually complete things on time. We don't complete them to the client's satisfaction. And from that, we get feedback and we have a look at what went on. Now, as I've experienced in the past, sometimes that feedback has a detrimental effect on us. We start to create reasons why. We start to create those reasons why the client was right, why we've made mistakes. And what happens is when we start to believe those reasons, some people call them excuses. Typically excuses I've heard, well, the client wasn't, the stakeholders weren't engaged in this. The end users didn't understand what we were trying to achieve. The software developers just didn't understand the specification. We start to make excuses. Once we start to believe those reasons why and make excuses, that's what we then call a limiting decision. When we make limiting decisions, we install limiting beliefs. So at this point, having gone from rah, 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 yes, we can deliver this project, we're now starting to doubt ourselves. When we start to doubt ourselves, we take less action. Our behaviors change. When we change our behaviors and we take less action, so if you stop doing the things that you should be doing every day, eventually you get what I call the oh sod it mentality, because you get to the point and think, oh sod it, or words to that effect, we're never going to deliver this, we're never going to hit the goal, we're never going to achieve the result, and you give up. I've seen it all too often with people, both in a business context and in a personal context as well. And I experienced that about 9 years ago. I'd had a very successful career. You can actually see this story. It's documented in a video on my website. If you go to harperhallettconsulting.co.uk, you can actually see the whole video. It's about 7 minutes long. I got to the point where my whole business world fell apart. And I was at the point where I literally couldn't get out of bed to go to work. I had no money, I had no income. I'd been told that I was useless at what I was doing, and I was told I couldn't get back into a job as a project manager despite having done the job for about 20 years. And as you can see in the downward spiral, I got to that massive installation of a limiting belief that I'd never be able to work again. However, I did come back. I sought help through a life coach friend of mine, and that's the whole reason why I went off and studied NLP and hypnosis. And it's completely transformed my life and those around me. So as I say, go to my website, harperhallettconsulting.co.uk, and or follow me on LinkedIn, and you'll be able to find a route through to that training. So I've documented 3 achievement sapping mistakes. And the first of those mistakes is that we focus on the task instead of the outcome. So if you think about our conventional waterfall project plan, is we're focusing, or all too often, people focus on the tasks themselves rather than on the outcome or the milestone. What happens in reality, as we all know too well, things shift out to the right. If you look at this gap here, this is where the downward spiral has kicked in, and we've started to believe that things aren't going so well. Our behaviors change, we take less action, things start to take longer, and the whole project plan shifts out to the right. The second achievement sapping mistake is that we focus purely on technical skills. I've mentioned it once, but I have to keep mentioning this, because what we can achieve is rarely a function of your technical skills, and it's more about who or what you are or what you believe you are. So it's not about assuming you've reached a certain level of competence. It's not about your technical skills as a project manager. It's about your mindset. It's about how you run your life. It's about you as a person. The third achievement sapping mistake is that people don't set goals. Now, I'm going to talk to you later on about some very special training that I've put together called the Power Goal Formula. And in that, I actually document the difference between an objective, an aim, and a target and a goal. It's a real fundamental difference. But the important thing is that what people don't do, as I've mentioned, is they don't set goals around the key milestones on their projects. So they're not focused on the milestone of the hardware being installed, the software being installed. They're focused on the activities that are leading up to it. That causes us a major problem. Now, let's have a look at the power of mindset. And again, what you can achieve is rarely a function of your technical project management skills. It's more about you, who you believe you are, and what you believe you are. So let's have a look at the power of mindset. More often than not, people in all walks of life, and particularly around projects, focus on the result itself, which is around delivering the project on time, which is absolutely right. I've said to you that you should focus on the outcome. But if you want to actually change the way that people work, this is the wrong end of the problem to be working at. So, for example, if the project director said to you, you have to deliver this project because, what are the chances of you acting on that big stick approach and actually getting the result that both you and they want? The next level that we can work on is on the behavior side, which is where we take action. So in my experience in the program office, there have been lots of cases where we've asked people to adopt new working practices. We've asked project managers to change the way they've worked. We've had some success and we've seen different results. But the real area to work in is people's beliefs. That is the area that will have the biggest impact on people's actions and on the results. So as I mentioned, if somebody takes the big stick approach to you and says you must deliver this project on time because you're less likely to hit that target and deliver that result. Again, if someone talks to you about adopting new process and attempts to change your behaviors, you may see some benefit, but the real way to make this happen is to change people's beliefs. Therefore, they will ultimately, as you saw by the model, they will change their actions, their behaviors, and you will see a different result. This is all part of something called the hierarchy of beliefs. And our beliefs are stacked in almost like a pyramid. At the bottom level is our results from the behaviors. Above that, we have our beliefs. So if we can work at a belief level and change people's beliefs, which you can only do through a qualified coach, then we'll see a massive impact on results. If we can then go to the next level and make sure that people's values are aligned with exactly what they want to achieve, we have an even greater impact. Now, the final level is identifying the root cause. This is something that I deliver as part of a one-to-one coaching program. And it's a long session to understand what the root cause of their problem is. And it could be something that happened when they were a child, but it's holding everything together like glue. And once we can remove that root cause, all the other problems in their lives just disappear. So it's now your turn to do a little bit of work. And this is called the Power Goal Workshop. And this is how you write achievable goals. So this uses something called the Power Goal formula, which I developed off the back of my experience and my training in NLP and hypnotherapy. And it is copyright, so I'd ask you to keep this to yourselves and not release it to people who haven't subscribed to this training. It does use the SMART acronym, and in the training that I deliver, I will explain to you the fact that the SMART acronym as it's taught in business doesn't actually work, otherwise you'd be achieving all your objectives now. But what I've done is taken that a stage further and developed a whole set of other actions to take on the back of it. So when you write the goal, it's important that you make the goal specific and you make it simple. The greater the specificity and simplicity of that goal, the easier it is for you to achieve it. It's our unconscious or subconscious mind that actually takes the daily actions, the activities to achieve that goal for you. So imagine it's like a 5-year-old child. The simpler you can make it, the more specific you can make it, the more chance there is that that 5-year-old child will actually do what you ask it to do. The goal has to be measurable and meaningful. And I'll show you in a minute about how you make that goal measurable, but it has to be meaningful and it has to be meaningful to you. By meaningful to you, what I mean is there has to be some benefit for you to achieve this goal. Um, a young lady said to me once, can I help her give up smoking? I said, well, first of all, why do you want to give up smoking? She said, because my husband's told me I need to give up smoking. So even if I'd have taken her on as a client, she probably wouldn't have quit smoking because the goal wasn't for her. The A stands for achievable and in all areas of life. Now, we're very much focused here on your goals in your projects, i.e. the deliverables. But it's important that you also have goals in all areas of your life, because what happens is that the achievement of those goals, and I break life down into 6 or 7 different areas, they all start to work with each other to help you achieve all of those goals. Now, the achievable one's interesting because what you deem to be achievable and what I deem to be achievable are two completely different things. So please make sure that when you write your goals down, that it conforms to your view of the world of what's achievable and not somebody else's. The goal must be realistic and it must be responsible. It has to be realistic in the sense that, do you really believe that it's realistic to achieve it? And again, it's your version of what's realistic. It's not mine or your project director's, it's your version. But it has to be responsible. So, for example, you could say that yes to your project director or IT director, I can deliver this project by the end of 2018. But in doing so, you end up working 18 hours a day. Your family treats you like a stranger. You get home and they say, oh, you've managed to come home, have you? Your relationship suffers. If you've got children, they wonder who their mother or father is. And at the end of it, you're so ill you can't work. Question is for you, is that really responsible? I know what my answer is. The T stands for timed and towards. So again, as with measurable, I'll show you how you make this timed in a moment. But make sure that the goal is something you're moving towards rather than moving away from. So, how do you write a goal so that it's achievable? So, this is the format of how you write an achievable goal. It is now, and you specify the time. You then specify the date, and then you specify the goal. So here's an example. It is now 5 p.m. and for me, broadcasting in England, this is 5 p.m. UK time, as we are now still in British summertime, on the 30th of October, and I've completed the project specification for the Power Goal training program. Now, just one thought, it's October. I know our hour changes in October. So whilst I've set the goal to be 5 o'clock, at the end of October, it'll be a different 5 o'clock, but I just need to bear that in mind. So this is about making the goal as specific as you can so that you can achieve it. Be very, very specific around the date and the time. And also think about where you're going to be when you achieve that goal. Now, the big mind shift and the genius tip for you is to turn your project deadlines into power goals. So if you think about all the tasks in the plan or in a waterfall, stop focusing on the activities itself, take that milestone and using the formula that I've just given to you, write a goal for the achievement of that milestone. Now, there is a template that you can use, and again, that's on my website, harperhallettconsulting.co.uk. You'll actually see it on the top line. And part of the training that we've got to talk to you about is you actually get that, that template as part of the training. So just to recap, take each of the milestones in your project plan and You can do it on a blank sheet of paper, in a notebook, in a Word document, and write out each of those milestones using the Power Goal formula, where each one is specified in terms of it is now, and be specific about the date and the time, and I have completed, and actually describe what you're going to do to complete that milestone. So for example, it is now 5 p.m. on the 17th of December 2018, and I have written the technical specification for, and then name the project that you're working on. Now, I know from the training that I've done in the past how difficult it is, having heard this, to go away and implement things on your own without any help. So that's where I can help you, how to get started. And I want to talk to you now about your next success steps. So I've put together some training, and it uses the project or the Power Goal formula, and it's called the Project Goals Masterclass. This will teach you how to achieve your project goals quickly and easily. And it is the ultimate resource to hit those project deadlines. So this is what you'll get on that training. So I'll talk to you a lot more about your mindset, about how each of us has our own unique model of the world. I'll actually train you on a lot more detail around what a power goal is. We'll take that SMART goal criteria and we'll take it a stage further and go into far more detail than I've been able to cover on this training. I'll take you through how to define and what are well-formed outcomes. This is all critical to achieving this goal. I'll talk to you about what the Power Goal success criteria is. I'll then teach you how to write a Power Goal. I'll teach you about what the first steps are, the final steps, and how to document this goal in so much detail that the achievement of it is a foregone conclusion. What we've also got is a couple of bonuses. We've got a live Q&A session that I'll run in a couple of weeks' time. And that'll be live in a group with me on a webinar call. You can fire questions in. I'll answer them on live. You'll also get a copy of the Power Goal template as part of that training. And that's yours for you to use, to copy and use wherever you want. You'll also get the Power Goal Quick Start Guide. That's just going through its final edit at the moment, and it's an ebook that you'll have as part of this training. Now, what if you're ready to take action now and you want to actually experience that training and get started straight away? Well, first of all, it means that you're in the driving seat and you're in control. It means that you're living on your agenda and not someone else's. And it means that you've taken the first step towards creating your very own future exactly how you want it to be. You will achieve success. This is a tried and tested formula that has been proven over many, many years in all walks of life. And I've proved it myself on projects like you're running, and in the program office like you're running. Now, the one thing I can't do because of the way the Advertising Standards Authority works in this country is I cannot guarantee your success, because at the end of the day, it's up to you to go and take action. So we've got a very special offer for you as part of this summit. And to get straight onto that training, now it's a one-time payment, and we usually charge this course out at 197 British pounds. As part of this PMO Virtual Summit, that special offer is £97. So it doesn't matter whether you click the subscribe button in a couple of minutes or in a week's time, that offer will still be £97. There's no scarcity, there's no big upsell, there's no catches. It is what I've taken you through, and it is £97. So if you're ready to take action and put yourself in the driving seat and be in control and start to hit those project deadlines using the project goal formula, then go to my website, which is harperhallettconsulting.co.uk/NLPMSO. So repeat that. It's an https://harperhallettconsulting.co.uk/NLPMSO. Now, you might be asking, why is the training only £97? And this all goes down to my mission. I want to help as many project management professionals like you deliver their projects on time and to do it stress-free. Because believe you me, once you get in control of this, you start taking action in the way that I train you to do, that stress will disappear. I know because I've experienced it. Now, you may be a little unsure, but the thing to remember is that if you are unsure, you're still going to be living on someone else's agenda. You'll never know what the results of this training will bring you, and you'll still be taking the same action, doing the same things, and suffering late projects. I totally recognise that this has been, half an hour of a whirlwind tour of my life and some of the things that I can help you achieve. So if you're still unsure and you've got queries, questions, then follow this link, https://chrishallett.as.me/PM success call. That will take you straight to a booking form in my own personal calendar, and you can schedule a time that's convenient for you, that you and I can get on the phone. It'll actually be on a Zoom call, and you can raise your concerns with me. I'll answer those queries and questions. And at the end of the day, if you decide this training still isn't for you, that's absolutely fine, because you're the one that has to decide and you're the one that has to take action. Again, I can't make people achieve the results that they want, but I know from going through this training, you will see a marked impact on your result. So there we have it. You've got 2 courses of action now. What I don't want you to do is go away and not take action. What I want you to do is either go onto this link here, book that success call with me, or take action on my irresistible offer as part of this PMO Virtual Summit. Take advantage of that one-time payment of £97 and start to take action today and see your results change. So there's the link for you to take action now. And it just remains for me to say, this has been Chris Hallett, the Achievement Coach, and delivering the training around how to leverage the power of your mindset to deliver your projects on time. It's been part of the Virtual Summit, and a final thank you to Hussein for inviting me to be part of this summit. Thank you.